All right, welcome to MindBody Chair Yoga. And I just wanted to start today with a little bit of a breathing exercise with this visual. So I've got this nice little toy to help us just visualize our breath. So feel free to either stand or sit, it's up to you. We're just going to start with, I don't know, like 5 or 6 just nice, really slow, deep breaths in and slow, steady, deep breaths out. And you'll notice that I will start making the breaths out a little bit longer. But if you ever feel like, it's not working for you, you need to take a breath sooner, by all means, go ahead. So we'll take a big breath in, filling the lungs completely from the top to the bottom, and a slow breath out, drawing your navel in towards the spine to push out that last bit of air. Inhale, nice, slow expansion, full expansion of the lungs, inhaling. And then the steady, slow, and you can breathe out through your nostrils or making like a little, like you're blowing out through a straw, you're blowing out a birthday candle. And this could be the last one. So just maintaining that breath, a nice full breath in, slow, steady breath out, and come and join me on the chair, knees nice and wide. Option to take your hands to touch the body, to feel into that expansion, contraction. And just allowing yourself to settle gently into the body. Just noticing the effect on the body when we stop and bring our full attention to the breath, expanding, contracting, and just letting the face be soft, belly soft. And I invite you to bring your hands up to heart center so that we may initiate our practice with the unifying Om as we inhale together. Inhaling, we'll open the eyes. Exhale, release. Stretch out the face, just roll up the shoulders. Inhale forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Let's take it real slow. Feeling into that full rotation of the shoulder, just like we explored that full expansion of the lungs, top to the bottom, sides, forward and back. Similarly with the shoulder roll, just get really curious about, drawing a big circle with the shoulders. Stretch out the face anytime, squeeze and spread the toes maybe. And then we'll just let those shoulders be nice and soft. Arms come forward. Take the left hand arm on top of the right arm. We'll take a big breath in. And exhale, reaching over to the right as much as you can without twisting. Bringing the arm back. And exhale, expansion. Inhale. So this is really working on expansion here. No contraction. I'm not contracting my shoulder blade to the spine. I'm just stretching. Yeah. Last one on this side. Draw the navel in towards the spine so there's no twisting. Okay, switch the arms, inhaling and exhaling. So whatever arm is on top, you reach it the opposite direction. Five of these on each side. Coming back to center. Release. Roll the shoulders out again. Okay, arms out to the side. We're going to do this internal, external rotation so that you're feeling the shoulder, the whole shoulder blade stretching forward on one side and then the other. And get really curious about this internal, external rotation and kind of maximizing both sides. So sometimes you get a little focused in, maybe just on the shoulders. Check that you're extending that internal, external rotation all the way to the wrists and to the fingertips. And release. Do whatever you need to do just to kind of maybe get watery here. Good. Bringing those fingertips up to touch at the top. We'll lift the navel, big breath in. And exhale, just reaching the fingertips toward one shoulder. Inhale, bringing it up. And over to the other shoulder. So noticing I'm drawing one elbow up, one elbow down here, getting in at this particular angle for each side. And then we'll release. Let's just do inhale, reach up, exhale, reach back. Do that again. Get watery. All right, let's do our I Dream of Genie arms again. Inhale, arms come up and as far up overhead as you can without arching the back. Bring them back down. Switch. Inhale. And exhale. Switch. Inhale. And exhale. Switch is the last one. Inhale. And exhale. Oof. Just do a few like gentle shoulder shrugs. Good. All right. Externally rotate both arms. Lift the heart and bring the arms back. Opening up, feeling this big expansion in the chest through the top of the arms. Inhaling, maybe gazing up. And then exhale, rounding the upper back. Bring the backs of the hands together, tuck the chin. Now, external rotate. Lift the heart, lift the chin. Internal rotation. Tuck the chin and feel that external, or sort of the shoulder blades draw away from each other. So we're doing like an isolated cat-cow in the upper body and supporting that with this internal, external rotation of the arms and shoulders. Okay. And release, just stretch out the face. Let's just circle the wrists one way and then the other. Actually, let's bring the arms forward, open and close the hands. Make a little fist and we'll do a little nod. And circle this one way. And then the other way. Shake it out. And release. Okay, we'll start rocking the pelvis. Just bringing our attention down to the lower part of the spine. Good. And then taking your hands kind of either behind your head or fingers at the temples. And when we lift the tailbone, lift the heart, elbows come back, inhaling. And exhale, rounding the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And release. Arms come down. Just feel like we've really put a lot of energy into our arms and shoulders. We're going to let those rest. Big breath in, go tall. And exhale. Let's bring that chin all the way down to the chest. Stretching out the back of the neck. Let the whole back of the neck and the top of the shoulders just be soft. Take the head a little to the left, a little to the right. Expanding. Opening up a bit through the neck. Bring the head back to center, we'll lift the chin, inhaling, exhale, gazing over one shoulder. Inhaling back to center, gazing over the other shoulder. Let's just repeat. Bringing the head back to center, big breath in. Exhale, drop your your left shoulder. Take your right hand down, inhale. Exhale. So now we're gonna lift the shoulder up. Exhale, draw it down. Lift it up. Draw it down. Lift it up. So it's expansion, contraction, and just notice how we can start to feel these muscles start to getting nice and long, and you can tell if your head is kind of lowering down a little bit closer to the shoulder. Okay, hand returns, nice and easy. Bring the head back up, roll it up. Inhale, grow tall. Right ear to right shoulder, make sure the shoulder doesn't rise up. Take your left hand down, lift the shoulder, lower the shoulder. So contract, expand. Contract, get really curious about the expansion. How can you, without forcing, it's really important we don't force because these muscles are typically pretty tight. So we just want to ease the muscles into this lengthening. We'll do one more. Good, hand returns, and then nice and easy, just bring that head back up. Roll up the shoulders some more, great. Let's bring our arms back up either behind the head or fingertips at the temples. Lift the navel and hug the ribs in, inhaling. Exhaling, just leaning over to one side, and I'm pressing down through that opposite hip, so I feel that stretch in two directions. Inhale up, and we're gonna do the same side. Exhale over. And this last one, we're just gonna hold. Bring your hand down, inhaling, getting long, exhaling, just kind of turning elbow toward the knee. Again, this is not intended to touch the knee. Inhale up. It's just finding a different angle to explore this stretch. Elbow up. Now last one down. Good. Return your hand and let's slow motion rise up. This is all really excellent core work. Big breath in. Exhale over to the other side. Press down through the opposite hip, ensuring that stretch in two directions. Turning that heart up towards the sky. Last one here, hold. Bring the hand down to the thigh, inhaling. Exhaling. Elbow down toward the knee, inhaling up. Maybe bringing that elbow back slightly, rounding. Getting a slight stretch on the angle. Little upper body twist. Last one here. Return. Take that hand behind the head, slow motion, rise up. Exhale, release. Let's get watery. Great, okay, and now finally our twist. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale, so we're gonna do each side just 5 times. Twisting at the waist, looking behind. Inhale, return your hands back to the knees. Exhale, turning. Inhale, return. Exhale, now really focusing on being super tall on the spine. Allowing for this twist at the waist, the chest, the shoulders, the head, the neck. Inhale back. And final one, exhale, let's just hold here. Inhale, unwind. Get watery again. Okay, growing tall, inhaling. Exhale, turning. Just notice the first one, return back to center. Exhale, each one, we're just gradually expanding this range of motion. Slow, steady exhale, use the navel to push out the last of the air. And now this is the fifth one, so just notice how far you've come in this twist, even if it's just a micro movement, breathing in and out, 3 breaths here. Grow tall on the exhale, sinking into the, tall on the inhale, sinking into the exhale. All right, inhaling, come forward. Exhale, release. Okay, bring those feet together and we'll come to our sun salutation. We're going to add our balance pose to the sun salutation. So either taking your hands to the back of the chair or the seat of the chair, walk the feet back, reach the arms forward, draw the hips back, stretch out the face, sway from side to side. All right, pedal those knees forward and back, pedal that pelvis forward and back. Really noticing side body lengthening. All right, inhale forward, stepping forward with that right foot knee over ankle, float your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands come down, and we'll step back, forward fold. Inhaling left and forward, bend the knee, press into that back heel, lift the heart, lift the fingers. Exhale, hands come down, and we'll step back. Repeating, inhaling. Exhaling. Left side. Really sensing into the breath like we practiced in the beginning, that full inhalation, full exhalation. All right, inhaling that right foot forward, bend the knee, and we're going to lift the heel and just kind of hop it back, maybe 1 or 2 little hops, so that we can come into this deeper lunge. Now squeeze the thighs together and lift that back thigh up, press into the ball of the foot, but also back into the heel. Hugging the ribs, so here's going to be, here is where our balance pose is going to be, and we're going to add some dynamic movement. You can do as much or as little of this as you feel comfortable. So we're going to bring our arms up like cactus, and this might be your balance pose right here. If you want to add some dynamic movement, we're going to breathe in and lift the heart, and then breathe out, draw the navel towards the spine, squeeze your forearms together like eagle arms, and inhale, open up your cactus. And exhale, squeeze those arms together. If you want to do one side and have one hand kind of hovering at the chair, that's fine, as long as you're feeling that expansion, contraction at the chest and the upper body. Okay, hand comes down. Just kind of bring that back foot forward again, press into the heel, lift the front toe, lift the back heel. So actually you could have left that foot back just to encourage really nice big stretch through the calf as you kind of drive that heel down to the floor. Good. Last one here. And then you can soften that front knee as much as you need to. Make sure your hips are square. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Forearms to the back of the chair, or maybe if the structure of your chair allows, bringing your hands down to the seat of the chair. Breathing in, grow long, exhale, fold. We're going to try not to round the back in this shape. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. And okay, let's bend that front knee. We're going to rise up and step the feet back into our forward fold. Make any little movements that kind of feel good here. And then inhaling, left foot forward. We're going to lift that back heel and just hop the ball of the foot back slightly so that you can come into that low lunge. So like standing as tall as you can, pressing the back of the thigh up, drawing that heel back. Now squeeze the thighs towards each other. Here we go. We can come into that balance pose using one arm or both arms into our cactus. Again, this could be right where you are practicing this more static balance or adding some dynamic element to it. We're gonna round in the upper back, squeeze the shoulders together. Inhale, shoulder blades squeeze towards each other. Exhale, sorry, elbows come together. So it's a little mini cat-cow using our cactus arms. Last one. Hug in those ribs, lift the navel. And we'll release the hand down. So yeah, let's just draw that back heel and lift the front toe. Lift the back heel, press, drive that heel back so we can feel that stretch in the calf. Lift the front toe high enough so that you also feel a stretch in the calf. So we're getting a stretch in the calf in two different ways. All right, so you can bring that back foot up if you need to. Slightly bending the front knee as you fold forward. And again, you can rest your forearms, bring your hands to the chair. Both toes are pointed forward into this forward fold. So just draw those sit bones up slightly. You'll start feeling a stretch in the back of the legs, hamstrings. So exploring any little movement that just kind of feels good to you. So if you want to sway the hip, or if you want to lift the front toe up and down, finding ways to open up here. Okay, returning your hands, stepping back. Our final forward fold here. Again, any little movements that feel good and supportive. And we're gonna walk our feet to the back of the chair. So we're arms distance away from the chair. We're gonna rise up on our tippy toes. Sink our hips down by bending at the knee. Drop the heels down so you feel a stretch at the Achilles. And then rising up and wrapping all the muscles around the bones and even lifting the navel. And repeating, inhale, lift, yeah. Feel that stretch in the feet, exhale. Navel is lifted. This is as much core work as it is legs. Draw the heels down. Rise up with energy. Do a few more. Connecting breath with movement as best you can. Change direction, bend the knees with the heels. Rise up, lower down. Bend the knees with the heels. Rise up, lower down. Your pace. Last one. Lift that navel, easing forward. Nice. And release. Okay. So just turning to face the front, back the chair, facing, actually no, we're gonna do the side of the chair facing you, so the back of the chair is facing back. And so that you're kind of standing right at the midpoint of the chair. We'll be in mountain here. And I'll invite you to bring your hands up behind the head. Let's lift the arches of the feet, lift the kneecaps, lift the navel, big breath in. Grow tall, exhale. Over to the side. Inhaling up. Exhale. Inhale. Now we're gonna twist. Exhale, turning to one side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Little mini cat-cow here, big breath in. Exhale, round the back, tuck the tail slightly. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the tail. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, open the heart. One more time. Great, reach your arms out. And we're going to be bringing our hand down to the chair. So just making sure you're close enough to the chair so that your hand will touch. And we'll bring all the weight into the left foot and point your right toe. Reaching actively through the fingertips and through the toe, we're going to come into that fallen star shape. So my leg, my standing leg, there's softness in the knee, but my leg is strong. So we're going to balance, reaching, reaching, reaching as far as you can. And then we're going to take our hand to the chair. Reach your arm up and lifting the leg as high, but no higher than the hip as you want, anywhere in between here, okay? Big breath in, and then exhale, bringing elbow toward knee, and we'll draw the navel in, and then inhale, exhale. so they don't have to touch. If they do touch, yay. If you're working toward that, yay, honor where you are. So feeling this in our side body and our core, a little bit of balance. Okay, last one. Start to lower that foot down. We're going to turn our heart toward the chair and then just kind of gently bring the toes so that they're facing the side of the chair. Bend the knees slightly, turn your sit bones up to the sky and gaze upward. So I want you to feel that big stretch in the back of the leg, inhaling. Exhale, rounding the back, tucking the tail. Inhaling, cow pose. Exhaling, cat pose. And coming into that full expansion of the lungs, let's move kind of really slowly today with the awareness of expanding and contracting the lungs, filling up completely, and then exhaling completely. Last one. Okay. Come to like neutral and step your right toe back, point the toe. Inhale, shoulders are over the wrists. Exhale, we're just going to kick that up. Exhale, squeeze the glute. And do it again. A few times. Use the glute to pull the leg up and slowly draw it down. Okay, now we're going to lift that leg as high as you can. Flex the foot. Slightly bend that standing leg just so that the knee isn't locked. Bring your weight into the right hand and reach your left arm forward. So this is bird dog. Breathing in and out. Draw the navel towards the spine. And we can hold here. I'm going to give you another option. Big breath in. Exhale, take elbow to knee. Don't have to touch. Just moving in that direction. We don't have to go quickly. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw them together. Inhale, reach. So good for weight bearing on our standing leg. This is going to be the last one. Great, put the hand down. Put the foot down, take your left hand to the back of the chair. We're going to rise up. A little bit of cardio there. Hand is at the back of the chair. Your right leg, you're going to bend and step onto the chair, kind of the farther end of it. And sink and rise. So the outer leg is on the front of the chair. The inner leg, or sorry, the left leg is closest to the back of the chair. And if you're kind of like, yeah, no problem, you could always take the foot slightly farther back, and that will provide you with a deeper stretch, which you may or may not want. So just exploring that. Now, coming to a nice tall spine here in our lunge, as far as you want to take it. And we'll take our right arm up to the sky. Lift the navel, lift the heart. And maybe bring both arms up to the sky. Holding and breathing. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. And out. We're going to release the hands down. Lean back. And step the foot down. Okay, let's do all of that on the other side. So if you want to take a moment, take a sip of water. And preparing for the other side. So we're standing beside that chair so that when we bring the hand down, it's going to be somewhere in the middle of the chair. And we're standing in the mid part of the chair. So coming into mountain, lift the arches of the feet, lift the kneecaps, lift the navel, arms come either behind the head or fingertips at the temples. So really hugging the ribs, inhale. Big expansion, exhale. Over to one side, inhaling up. Full expansion, exhaling. Inhaling up. Just a gentle twist here. Inhaling back. Exhale. Coming back to center. Exhale, standing cat-cow. So tucking the tail, tucking the chin, bringing the elbows towards each other. Elbows draw away, lift the tail, lift the heart. So at your own pace, connecting breath with movement. Now release both arms to the side, actively reaching through the fingertips. Weight comes into the right foot, left foot comes out to the side. So we're growing tall, try not to sink into the hip, lift the navel. And then we'll start leaning and reaching, bringing that toe up as far as it feels comfortable, leaning and reaching, leaning and reaching. My standing leg is strong, but the knee can be slightly bent, and then we'll bring that hand down into half moon. So big breath in. Exhale, if you can bring the elbow toward the knee, inhale, reach. Any amount. Touches again. Just honoring where you are, wherever the leg is. A little bit of core work, a little bit of leg work. Okay, we're gonna start to soften that standing knee so you can land the opposite foot. Turning the heart down toward the chair, turning so that we come into our cat-cow shape once again. Bend the knees a little bit more this time and really lift the sit bones up to the sky as you gaze up. Inhale, full big breath in. Slow, steady exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tail. Inhale and bend the knees, lift the tail. Exhale, round the back. I'm just doing that a few more times. Good, coming to that tabletop, navel is drawn in towards the spine. We're gonna take your left foot, point it behind you, inhale. Exhale, kick it up, challenging our glute. Check that your shoulders are over the wrists and that your core is really solid, really hugging in here. Okay. Now we'll lift, keep that leg lifted, bring all your weight into the left arm and hand. Extend your right arm forward, bird dog. Standing leg, you can see like I'm not locking the knee, it's solid. Staying here or big breath in, exhale, slowly move knee to elbow, any amount. Really honor where you are today, taking breaks when you need to. This is not like a cat-cow move. My spine is just kind of normal. Okay, reach. And then lower, hand and lower the foot. Slightly bend the knees. We're gonna rise up. Take this left foot, lift it up and step it to the back or the opposite side of the chair. We're gonna sink into this lunge, stretching top of the right leg. So our hip flexor there. This is really a full body yoga class today, not focusing particularly on one thing or another, really trying to get into all the different parts of the body. And again, if you want a little deeper stretch, you could always explore that. I'm drawing your foot back. And then we'll take our left arm up to the sky, standing tall. And then maybe just to explore balance, taking the other arm up. Now just gaze forward, looking at one spot that isn't moving. Breathing in and out, hugging those ribs. And on an exhale, we're going to release down. And bring the foot down. Good. Okay, we'll just move the chair over. Okay, we're going to need a block. Sorry, I forgot to mention this before. We won't use it right away, but we're just gonna put it here, so it's about center. And you can always set up the back of the chair here if you need the chair for balance. So we're gonna start with a bit of a goddess flow. So taking the toes out to the side, just sink down and rise up. Tick-tock those hips. Sink down. Expansion, rise up, contraction. So adding some cactus arms, we're gonna inhale, feel expansion. So expansion through the chest. There is contraction between the shoulder blades, but we're gonna expand here, expand in the legs. Inhale, lift the navel. Exhale, contract. Squeeze the forearms together. Draw the navel up, lift the kneecaps. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Okay, this time, lift the right heel. Exhale, contract. Lift the left heel. Keep that navel lifted, going back and forth between left and right heels. Expansion. Traction. Shoulders. Adductors. Calves. Okay, this is the last one. Release those arms down. Turn your toes forward. Okay. Hands at the thighs. Lean forward, press your hips back. This is that quarterback shape I like to describe. Inhale. Exhale, rise up, contract your glutes and press the hips forward and lift the thighs. Expand, quarterback, contract as we exhale. Inhale, exhale and rise. Inhale, expansion, exhale, contraction. So as you push the hips back, keep the sit bones kind of lifting up so you get a bit of a stretch in the back of the leg. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, this time we're going to come back to our quarterback and just lift the sit bones a little bit higher. We're at tabletop. Take this block so that your left hand is underneath your face and your spine is long. Okay, now take your right hand to the small of your back. You're going to inhale and lift your heart up toward the right side and exhale, bring it down. Inhale, lift the heart and exhale, draw it down. So nice little twist here at the waist. And we're not worrying about the arm. I want you to focus on the torso. Last one. Good. Now let's switch. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, return. Inhale. Exhale, return. Lift those arches of the feet. That's the last one. Bring your hands to the thighs. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, release. We'll bring those feet together. Okay, so moving our chair out of the way, bringing our feet to the top of the mat. And coming down onto the floor. Reaching your arms forward, tucking the chin, scrolling down, or simply coming onto your side, rolling. Okay, so we are going to roll over onto your left side. Bring your arm so that the elbow is under your shoulder and your fingertips are pointed forward. I want you to really press into the forearm and feel your shoulder and the arm really activate here so that we don't have this. I don't want your shoulder coming close to the ears. I want lots of space between your ear and the shoulders. So this bottom leg, we're going to just like extend it down and we're going to take our front leg anywhere in front of the bottom leg. This right hand is just tented in front of me for support. So get strong in your shoulder and neck. Inhale. And then exhale, we're gonna lift the hip up and inhale down. Exhale, lift the hip up and inhale down. Exhale, lift the hip up. Inhale down, last one. Exhale, lift the hip up. And inhale down. So switching over to the other side. Taking your time. And again, this alignment is really important, okay? So that elbow is directly under the shoulder and your forearm is pressing forward. I don't want all of your weight in the elbow. Bring the weight into the full forearm. So if that feels like you have to lean forward, that's okay. Spread your finger wide. Bottom leg is extended and taking that top leg wherever it feels comfortable. Now, hugging in the ribs and making sure there's lots of space between your shoulder and your ear. Inhale. Exhale, lift the hip. You're going to feel that weight bearing in the shoulder. That is the point. Exhale, lift the hip. That and all this oblique work. We're going to do 5, but you choose to do as many or as little as your body allows today. Okay, we're going to release. Just kind of come up. Take your hands behind you. Feet in front of you. Make sure you can see me. And our feet are really nice and wide. And we're just going to do this windshield wipering of the knees. I'm just putting my heels connected to the floor, lifting the toes. All right. And then we're going to come down onto our backs again. Reaching forward. Back the chin. Hug in the knees, squeeze and spread the toes, stretch out the face. Big, luxurious breath in. And then a slow exhale, really pushing out all the air. Let's circle the ankles, let's do that again, big breath in. Slow, steady exhale. Point and flex the feet. Good. Drop the feet down, arms at your sides, feet nice and wide, as wide or wider than your mat. And we're going to do that windshield wiper action once again. So we did a lot of strengthening at the hip today because we did a lot of like balance and weight bearing. So I just want to make sure your hips feel nice and open and stretched out. So just exploring this stretch, it's easy to kind of go through the motions here. So let's breathe in, take the knees up, breathe out, exhale over, really drawing the knees away from the hip. So we're getting a stretch through the thigh and through the hip. Inhaling up and exhaling over, taking your time. Do that one more time on each side, inhaling up, exhaling over. Inhaling up and exhaling to the side. Inhaling up to center, exhale, release, gently tuck your chin. We're going to hug in the knees once again, but now we're going to take the feet up and the knees out to the side. Now just gently coming into happy baby, hands at the shins, ankles, maybe even the outsides of the feet, rocking from side to side. Stretching out the face. You can even take your hands like behind the knees. Great. Now, soles of the feet together, knees away from each other, back into happy baby. Exhale, cobbler. Inhale, happy baby. Exhale, cobbler. Inhale, happy baby. Exhale, cobbler. Good. Now bring the soles of the feet toward each other. Arms are just going to be at your side. Now, extend the legs forward, point the toes, and bring the knees out. So this is like little froggy legs. So the insides of the feet are connected, and we're just bending the knees out to the side, like cobbler. It's not like the soles of the feet really touch, they're just kind of moving toward each other, and then extending them forward. Draw that navel down towards the spine. Last one. Good. Drop your left foot down, take your right ankle over the knee, and just kind of flex that right foot slightly and push the knee away from the face. Let's lift the left foot up as the shin comes closer to the chest. Grabbing onto the sides of the pant leg, or taking your hands behind the knee or over the knee. We're going to just draw the shin in, release. Exhale, draw the shin in, inhale, release, exhale, release, exhale, release. Bring that left foot down, arms out at the side. Inhale, and then exhale, just draw your knees over to the right any amount. Inhale, back to center. Over to the right again. Inhale, back to center. So you might notice like my knees aren't touching down when I bring it over to the right. I'm just kind of bringing a little flow work into this so that we can focus on just releasing through the hip. And then you can choose to keep your foot on the knee as the legs drop to the side. Or take your foot off if that stretches a little bit too deep. Gaze over to the left side. Just breathe into your left rib cage. Slowly release. Actively using your breath. Notice expansion, and as you exhale, kind of push your left knee away from the hip. Okay, knees come back to center. Realign the spine, arms come back in, draw the navel down. Left ankle over knee, pick up your right foot. I feel like I may have got my lefts and rights wrong here. You're doing the other side. Okay, so grabbing on to the outside of the leg, behind the knee or in front of the knee. The foot that is on the knee, slightly flexed. And on the exhale, we kind of squeeze in, and on the inhale, we release. That exhale should feel like letting go as opposed to effort. So if you're squeezing in and it's kind of like, then I'd like you to try to kind of turn it around. And this time when you squeeze in and you exhale, it feels like, Okay, let's drop that foot down, arms out at the sides. Inhaling. Exhale, just release the legs over to the side. Inhale, lift it back up. And exhale, drop to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale. So the knee that is bent and is leading, or like the foot that's lifted, not the one that's on the floor. And on this next exhalation, we'll drop those knees over to the side and gaze in the opposite direction. And again, choosing to keep your foot on the knee or take it off, finding that spot where your feet feel comfortable, but you're still giving yourself a nice big stretch. Breathe into the right rib cage, whichever side you're on, and exhaling. Again, there's that letting go, and it's in these moments of letting go that we can encourage the hips to let go and release. Oh, release your foot off the knee if it's there. Slowly bring the knees up, head back into neutral position, realign the spine. Let's hug the knees in, bring your chest and your chin and your forehead towards the knee, get really small. And then we're gonna release down, extending the legs, tucking the shoulder blades, external rotation of the arms so that the palms are facing up. Just let the feet drop to the side, unless of course you're having any issues with the low back, any twinging, then bend the knees, take the feet as wide as your mat. Allow the knees to drop inward, or any other shape that is going to serve you in this moment. Inhaling expansion. Exhaling contraction. And just bring into your mind's eye that expanding and contracting ball that we did a little breath work in the beginning of the practice. And visualizing this expansion, slow, steady expansion, your lungs expand fully, top, bottom, sides, front and back. Slow, steady inhalation, slower, steady exhalation. So elongating the exhalation slightly. So I'm going to allow you to do this in quiet. Maintain this focus on the breath as you soften the face. Soften the belly. Loosening your grip at the hands, letting them be really soft and open. Allowing the muscles at the thighs to melt away with the exhalation. Soften the knees. Calves. Release your hold of the ankles. And letting go of the feet. Letting the whole body just rest here. Perhaps imagining yourself just on a raft, just gently gliding downstream. We'll bring some movement into the feet and the toes. And the hands, the wrists maybe. Scrunch up the base, spread it out. Stretch it out. Scrunch it up. Stretch it out. And inhaling your arms up overhead for a gentle full body stretch. Exhale, release. In your own time, bending the knees, bringing the arms in, rolling over to one side. Take your time. And again, take your time. Rise up. Come into any comfortable seated position, including if you want to come back to the chair. Just allowing yourself to sit upright, observing the full expansion of the breath, the full contraction. A few more times. And bringing your hands right to your heart center, take a moment to just give yourself some love and some gratitude for taking care of yourself in this way, being open to this ancient practice of wellness and knowing yourself. And we'll seal in with a unifying Om as we inhale together. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. And we'll see you soon.